What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be fooling around with one of my favorites. This is a game that I absolutely adore. When it first came out, it was kind of like nondescript and one of those roguelikes that I played and forgot about, but now, many years down the line, the developers have been supporting it with non-stop content updates and also gameplay, refinements. And so it's become one of those titles that I increasingly come back to the same way that I do with Tales of Maj'Eyal or Caves of Qud. The game is called Barony, and it's a really deep, super interesting roguelike that is one of the few games that's real-time in that genre that still manages to maintain the vibe of being a classic dungeon-crawling roguelike. Today we're going to dive on in and play for about 30 minutes because there's a beta for the new update that's coming out called Eat My Hat, which is a follow-up to Quality of Death, which came out, I guess, about a year ago, which I played around with. This update actually adds a bunch of new items, a few new mechanics, and some interesting things to fiddle around with that I think warrant a new video. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, if you wanted to hang out with me live, I do have a VOD of this game, me playing it for about 4 hours in case you wanted to see it in more depth and see the learning process and me getting back on the horse that goes into making a video. But let's get moving, shall we? So in Barony, you are an adventurer that's going down into a post-apocalyptic castle. A baron lived there, created a dystopia, became fantastically wealthy, and then everything collapsed, leaving all of his riches deep down in the earth, a testament to his depravity. And so now adventurers go back down in there trying to grab goodies and get wealthy. But once you go in, you can't come back out. And as of yet, nobody's made it. Enter you. At the beginning of the game, you got to pick a race and a class. Unlike most games, this is hugely influential. Every single one of these races is going to massively change the way that you play the game. For today, we're going to keep it simple and play a human, but if you play a skeleton, you don't have to eat and you can self-resurrect. If you play a vampire, you don't need to eat, but you do need to use a blood drain spell on people in order to get blood vials, which allow you to eat. If you play a succubus, you can seduce people. If you play a goat man, which is one of my favorites, you have to be basically drunk the entire game because the goat man is absurdly overpowered so long as he's drunk. But liquor is not hard to find down in the dungeon, and you get debuffs for being sober. The automaton, I think, is probably my favorite race just because they're really easy to manage. You are a machine, and you must mind your reactor by feeding it you got to feed it magic scrolls, magic books, and stuff like that in order to keep the boiler burning. There's all kinds of fun things down on in here to play around with, and it's hugely consequential which one you pick. It's going to change your gameplay style quite a lot, and I think that once you find the one that is your favorite, you're probably going to stick with it. There's also an enormous volume of classes, each of which all play very differently from one another. Some of them are more similar than others, like the rogue and the ninja, but there are tons and tons of classes in here that all do different things and all interact with the mechanics in different ways. For today's video, we're going to play as the cleric because it makes things simple. I personally feel like the cleric is probably the best class for new players to master if you want to get a taste of everything in the game, which makes it really good for filming a video trying to show off this fantastic game. We're going to be doing melee, we're going to be doing casting, we're going to be doing armor, we're going to be doing staves, we're going to be doing all kinds of things that other classes can be kind of shoehorned into doing one thing and then they kind of do everything else terrible. The cleric does everything a little bit, which makes for good gameplay making so that you can see what the game is capable of. So let's go ahead and dive on in and see how we do in the dungeon. This can be shockingly short, or it can be a very long run. Hopefully we have a good one. I've dumped about, I would say, 8 hours into the game in the last couple days, just kind of like regaining my feet and getting back to where I want to be. I'm going to wield a torch this entire time. It's not super efficient to wield a torch because we don't get any defensive bonuses, but because I'm filming a video, something tells me you guys are going to want to be able to see what's happening inside the game, and so we'll start there. Our cleric starts out with reasonable leather armor and some really good bracers that are blessed. We start out with a mace that's really nice. We start out with a spell book of Troll's Blood. We cannot learn it yet, but we could put it in our hand and we can cast from the book if we want to. Oh, there's our first foe right there. I'll lay him low real fast. We'll start picking up items, one of my favorite things about this game, and in fact, what I think makes this game addictive is that identifying items in this game is automatic and based on your perception score, crossed with your appraisal skill. You can see a list of all the skills in the game right here. They all level up, exactly like you would expect from a Bethesda title through usage. And so we need to use things if we want to get good at things. And as you can see right there, our appraisal just went up from identifying that helmet and also from identifying the blindfold that we have right there. If you're wondering why there's a blindfold in the game, it matters for other classes, not us. Some classes can benefit from blindness, so we can't do that, but other classes can. Now, the goal of the game is just to find the stairs that go down, or the hatch that goes down to the next floor. Dead by Daylight players will know exactly what they're looking for here. There can be modifiers on each part of the dungeon, so every time you get to a floor, it makes a dice roll to decide what the modifier is. There may be no modifier. There may be quite a shaking modifier that actually matters a lot. It just sort of depends what dungeon you're in at the given moment. We do have a mini-map down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that's going to allow us to navigate a little bit. There are various scrolls and spells that will allow you to map faster and find your way through. But it looks like we've hit a big old sloppy dead end on this side. The good news is we're not operating with a time limit. Some of these dungeons have a time limit in how fast you have to get through them. Otherwise, the Minotaur is released down here to destroy you. Oh, nice. A bubbly blue... Oh, there's the hatch right there. You can actually see it. We already found it. We walked past it earlier. That means there's nothing left to do but explore, gear up, and get ready for further dungeons deeper down on in the depravity of the Barony. If you're wondering why I'm picking up every terrible item right now, it's because I'm trying to level up my appraisal skill. So we will more than likely throw 90% of this stuff on the ground at the end of the level and not take it with us. That's a gemstone. We can't really identify it for right now, so it's not going to be that helpful. And if we sell it to a vendor, it's not going to be that worth that much unidentified. There's a ring right there. I'll go ahead and take that. There is meat right there on the ground, which is great because this game does have survival aspects. Our character does need to eat, and in fact, hunger is a threat in this game. So keep an eye on it. That's one of the reasons why I really like playing the automaton, is because the automaton eats books and scrolls and kind of like mechanical roughage that you find around the dungeon. It's an option that other characters don't have that effectively sort of eliminates that mechanic, because I've just had a few too many characters die of starvation just because the RNG kills me and I don't have enough food to get by. Go ahead and grab, 107 gold pieces. Very, very nice. That's a big pile for the early game. I'll go ahead and take it. No scrolls, no staves, nothing else that we've picked up just yet that's going to help us level up our kind of baby-like casting skill. But I'm hoping we find some of that stuff soon, because having a well-developed spellbook can be very helpful for survival for pretty much any character in the game. And since we're a cleric, we have a little bit of a head start in that regard. I hear a rat over in this direction. I'm going to try to find it and kill it because rats can drop meat. And I like to stock up on the first couple floors with just a backpack full of rat steak so that if I get hungry later on in the game, we still have something to feast upon. If you're one, oh my god, okay, that's Algernon. We don't want to do that. Algernon, so this game has rare boss spawns that can show up in any biome. And if you are not ready for them, they can be exceptionally dangerous. Actually, if I can pull Algernon's rats, I don't know if they drop loot, but I would like for them to drop loot. Oh no, dude. We're getting beat up pretty good right now. We got Algernon on the run. Oh man, so what happened here? I heard a clank. So your gear has different grades in this game, in case you were wondering. Are those cheeses any good? I'm going to pick them up for identification purposes. We also have a 2,000 gold flawless emerald that's a rare emerald that only drops out of Algernon's eye. If you take a look at his model, he has a gemstone stuck in his eye. But we did get a rare spawn for our first run in the dungeon, which doesn't happen altogether that often. There's another one, I think, named Mr. Bones, who has a giant flaming axe that you can loot in the early game, which is actually really, really strong as a pickup. Inventory, it's had a full overhaul in the quality, or I guess in the quality of death, and also in the Eat My Hat update. They've made the icons very crisp, very clean, very modern. Anything you see with a red background is cursed, and we won't be able to take it off once we use it. If it's a consumable item and it's cursed, there's a strong chance that it'll have like a secondary effect, like getting you drunk or draining your mana. Oof, water scalding sucks. That'll drain your mana or, you know, have some side effect that's negative. I don't know what that did. Oh, it opened this gate right here. Okay. I think we're about done with this floor. If we can find a shop, I think we'll be able to stock up pretty well. The mage staff is unfortunately cursed. I was hoping I could use that to I was hoping I could use it to level up my casting. Alas, I cannot. We've got spell books on the way in right now. Spell books are a big high... Oh, we've got a spell of locking. Okay, I'll take that. Locking's good. We'll go ahead and grab locking right there. I don't really need to carry the book around with me, though. And that leveled up our magic skill. Our magic skill is going to be responsible for how fast we regenerate MP and also how hard our spells hit. Now, on this floor, we've got a little bit of bad luck. The Minotaur is active on this floor, which means that we have 5 minutes to find our way out of the dungeon lest we die horribly. And so we kind of need to shake a leg here and find the dungeon exit about as fast as possible. I like to find it early and then explore with the rest of my time, but sometimes it takes you the full 5 minutes to actually find the damn thing. So I'm going to be pulling levers and doing all kinds of stuff here. Hey, an ally. All right, you be on my team. So if you find somebody of your race, when you're selecting your race, there will be a bunch of different affinities that your race has, like there's basically relations. So different races get along with different races. Oh, nice, healing fountain. I'll take that. And so humans, we get along with other humans, and we get along with robots. And so I'm going to just try to battle fight my way through here as fast as possible because I'm scared. The Minotaur is a one-tap. You don't want to run into the Minotaur if you can help it, and we're already running a little bit low on time. So let's kind of scamper a bit. There's a skeleton over here that was fighting with somebody. I will take the gold and I will take the helmets, although we are getting weighed down a little bit. This game does have a weight and encumbrance system that includes what you have equipped and also the things that are in your backpack. I don't see our exit just yet. A flawless gem, I'll take it just because it's flawless, and if we can ID it, it's a huge come up. More meat is also really, really good. I'll take the aged bread. Oop, there's a boulder trap right there. Boulder traps in this game are a one-shot, so don't stand near them. There are some things that will save you from a boulder trap. So there's the top hat and there's the miner's helmet. Both of those can protect you from getting smooshed by a boulder. But for now, hey, there's the hatch. Very nice. Okay, so we found the hatch. We can get out of here. My ally is dead. I don't know what happened to him. A little unfortunate. That loot just fell into the abyss, which is kind of weenus too, but well, what are you going to do? There are branching paths in the dungeon. That's what you're seeing right there. That guy will take you to the gnome realm. The gnome realm is highly dangerous, though, and so unless you have, like, a really strong opening, I probably wouldn't recommend going to the gnome realm. Just me personally. Oh, he's here. Okay. Well, let's leave. You can see him as a big, gnarly red arrow on the map once he's close enough, and he's going to make a beeline for us. This floor, we got the Minotaur again. Okay, let me inventory manage real quick while I'm sitting here and just get things out of the way. Armor class is flat damage mitigation in this title. So the more of it you have, the better. We have a scroll of force bolt right there, which is really good for us, so I'll take that. Let's get cruising, though. We got to find the dungeon exit again. It's a little unfortunate that we got back-to-back Minotaurs. That's not a great thing, because what that means is if we find a shop, we can't, like, take our time and farm the level to get a whole bunch of money and then buy a whole bunch of gear. And so, in general, you kind of pray that you never get Minotaurs. At least that's how I prefer to play the game, is just hoping that I never get Minotaurs ever. I'm going to grab that torch off the wall, too, just to make sure our illumination stays strong. I don't see the exit. Exit, where are you? I'd like to exit the level. That door is locked. Ooh, +2 ring of magic resistance. That is a huge banger of a meta item. That's really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on real fast. That's going to make us take a lot less damage from things in this game that are frequently one-shots. So when you get further on into the game, there's going to be enemies that are equipped just as well as you are. Hey, we found the exit. All right. Let's go ahead and tool through some loot then and see what we can find here. I am a little bit hungry, so we'll go ahead and eat some food real fast. And we'll just keep cruising and seeing what loot we can scoop up into our backpack. I think we've probably got about 2 or 3 minutes left. I'll take the scroll because I don't know if it's going to be anything good. Amulet, same reason. We have Decrepit Knuckles. Please don't be a mimic. It's a mimic. Okay, so go ahead and close that off and run for our lives. Mimics are a new addition with the new update of the game. They are highly dangerous. They can open doors like a velociraptor. Nothing will kill you more frequently than a mimic in the current build. You want to watch out for them the best you can. Let's just go to the next level. We'll just make do. We didn't get so we really want to farm this level, and I'm really, really hoping that we have a shopkeeper for a general supply here, because that'll make things a lot easier. One thing I do like about this game is what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. Enemies, their equipment breaks just like your equipment breaks. So if you smack a skeleton, there's a strong chance you'll hear a clunk and their helmet will break or their armor will break or whatever else. There we go, knock him out too. What was that bronze mace? I didn't have time to stop and look at it. That's good. It's a replacement. Our character is only proficient in maces. We can equip whatever we want in this game, but you get fat damage bonuses for using things that your character is good at. And since we have 35 in maces, we kind of want to stick to that. I do have Force Bolt. I'm going to prepare that so that I have a ranged attack. And in fact, we're going to start out with our casting there by trying to level up our casting a little bit, because we do have the intelligence to support casting. The best way, though, to level up your casting, in my opinion, is to find a really, really good staff. Oh, this is not good. Is he faster than me? He's not faster than me, so we're like semi-okay here. I'm going to get Robin Hood to join me. I've never seen that name before, so I'm sort of curious if old Robin of Locksley over here is better than some of... I don't know if there's rare spawn adventurers you can get that are like way better than the ones you would typically get, but I'll keep... He's rocking the pecs, man. You can tell that Robin's big. He's been up on that weight bench and he's been hitting them flies, dude. All right, so we're full up for a moment. We've got a cursed ring right there. We've got a magic reflection cape. That's an incredible pickup because that means we don't really need the magic resistance ring anymore. It's no longer important. We probably don't want the strangulation amulet, that is, unless you're into the old strokey chokey to get the blood flowing. Lots of flawless emeralds and things around here. Don't need a newspaper clipping. And actually, I think we can deal with the mimic, because my character started out with a number of scrolls. Where did he go first and foremost? I don't know where he ran off to. I think he was down around this corner, right? I've got a number of scrolls that'll summon a pack of monsters that I think can take us in a place where we can handle them. I'll get the spell book right there, too. Oh, I got a bad feeling that we don't have a shop. Another dead rat, but the dead rat didn't give us any goodies. Mining helmet, that's one of the items right there that will protect you from boulders and make it so that they're not a one-shot. Can be useful if you find that you walk into boulder traps a lot and die instantly, and you find that frustrating. The top hat, that's a boulder trap right there, by the way. The one that Robin's trying to trigger with his body, which hopefully he doesn't, because I actually kind of need his backup. I'll take the potion over here, because I don't know what kind of potion it's going to be. Appraisal's getting better. Level 25 means we have a basic understanding of magic items, and 50 is when we become adept at identifying items. It does tell you that, too. You get like a rank in each of your skills. Robin, let's not go this way. There's a troll that way. Trolls give you like a free level up if you kill them, which can be useful if you have a squad that's ready to deal with that kind of problem. Nice, we've got good food. One of my biggest problems with playing any class that has to eat is now solved. I think we've got enough food to last us a couple floors, and so I'll let the old hunger meter tick down a little bit, but not too far. No boulder traps down. You always want to be careful in single tile hallways like that one right there, because there can be a boulder trap at the end and you can trigger it and not see the boulder coming until it's too late to get out of the way. You also want to be careful with these doors. Sometimes there's one right there, and the second that you open it, it triggers the trap, and so just kind of watch out. This floor wasn't as productive as I was hoping it was going to be. I'll probably cast off some of my mana here just to level up my casting and like get my MP restoring, because we're just walking back to an exit right now anyway, so it's not that big of a deal that we have full mana. Oh, there's a mirror. Mirrors, so like mirrors, these are a very special item. That one's cursed, but mirrors are really cool because if you activate a mirror on your hotbar, it will teleport you somewhere else in the dungeon. That doesn't sound incredibly useful, but I promise you, it is super useful. Because if you get yourself up shit creek, you can just hit your 4 key or whatever and instantly teleport away and lose aggro, which can be huge for like when you walk around a corner. And there are, just like there's rare spawn enemies, there's also rare spawn packs where they have like a squad or like a horde of guys that's just going to run your ticket super hard. We've made it to the 5th floor. On the 5th floor, the game is going to give you a bunch of chests. Be forewarned, these chests can be mimics, just like every other mimic. I've played around with ways to detect mimics before you touch the chest. I have not found a way to do that reliably. I've hit them with knives from far away, like throwing knives. I've hit them with arrows. That doesn't seem to wake them up. I haven't tried blasting them with like a fireball or something yet. Ooh, a bear trap. Bear traps are useful. Serviceable too. That means we get a couple uses out of it. Bear traps, if the enemy walks across them, it does a bunch of damage to them and paralyzes them for like 8 seconds, which basically gives you a free kill. It can be a really good way to deal with the aforementioned mimics or trolls to get a free level up. Good stuff. All right, let's keep on cruising. This is the goblin realm, so we're going to want to be careful in here. This is going to be the first time we come across enemies that are capable of casting just like we are and are able to like blast us pretty good. We've got a goblin warrior right there. He's got very, very high armor though. He's down. We got him. Let's go through his stuff and see if any of it is a tangible upgrade. Looks like Robin's fighting somebody over there. He's trying to find his way to me. Oh, the door is locked, so he's trying to blast his way through. We got to wait for this guy's equipment to get identified. Don't need that. Oh, there's a zombie in the corner over here while I was doing inventory management. There are sneak attacks in this game. The only way to strike crits in this game is from behind. There are classes where their entire playstyle is sneaking around the dungeon and backstabbing people. Classes like the ninja or the rogue are quite good at those sorts of things. My blessed mace is about to break, so I'm going to swap into the bronze mace, but we lucked out and got a repair scroll, I think. Oh, no, we didn't. Never mind. That was on my last run I did to warm up before we did this one. There's scrolls that will restore your stuff back to maximum durability. They are quite rare. You should covet them, and you should keep them for that one piece of, like, +3 iron or steel breastplate that you find that starts to wear down over the course of a run. It can be very, very useful for that. So that right there is what I'm talking about. That's a very dangerous enemy. This is a guy right here who has a fire staff. And so that fire staff is going to hurt like hell if it hits us. You can see that Robin got done in dirty right there. However, we now have a magic fire staff, which is great. Go ahead and identify that, and I'll actually probably... Do I have a light spell around here? Ooh, it's a blessed one, too. That's a really nice stave. That's actually like a run winner right there. That's a really good one. We've got towels in here. Towels are usable for stopping bleeds and also for if you eat food. There's always a chance when you eat food that it'll give you the messy status effect, which is basically like a lesser version of confused or blind. And so having a towel around to fix yourself can be helpful. Robin had 32 bucks on him, huh? Ooh, there's a magic shop over here. Nice. Or a jewelry shop. Okay, let's go in the jewelry shop. We're a human, so we can interact with shopkeepers. Monsters cannot talk to shopkeepers, so goblins, goatmen, they have to use a polymorph potion to turn themselves into a human before they go in. And let's see what we can do here. I will sell you that ring. I will sell you the poison resistance amulet as well. I will also sell you that gem from Algernon, and we now have a bankroll. Unfortunately, items inside the vendor, they are all unidentified, so you never quite know what you're going to get. You can sort of look at the quality to guess, like a flawless amulet is more likely to be good than, you know, a crude one. But nothing in there that I really want to purchase for right now. But we are going to want to cruise around the dungeon, and since we don't have a time limit other than our hunger meter, we are going to want to go through and effectively find everything in the dungeon that we can sell to that guy just to farm up, so that if we find any vendors in the future that have things that we want, we'll have a huge bankroll, and we can just fully kit out from nothing. We got a goblin over here, but he's mostly naked, so he shouldn't be a problem. There we go. He's down. I'll take his gold. Got a crappy helmet and a crappy mace. There's an aged fish right there. Don't think that's going to be very helpful. I'm a little bit overburdened right now. Oh, they broke my bracer. That sucks because that bracer's really good. I'm going to put on those boots right there. And those give me water walking. Fantastic. That's super great. That's a really, really rad item to have right there. Throw that over on that side. I don't know if I should chuck these or not. They're really good if I can fix them, but if I can't fix them, they're just kind of taking up inventory space. +1 dexterity gloves right there, which is nice. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to put down a bear trap. We're going to catch his ass up in a bear trap. We're going to use the old stepdad strategy on him. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. They skipped the trap entirely. Oh, Bartos is fighting him right now. Did it work? I don't think Bartos won. I'm going to cast some spells. Oh, he picked up the helmet that was on the ground, you little bastard. We need to get rid of that bleed. There we go. Bleed taken care of. None of my gear broke. It sounds like some of his gear broke, maybe. I am now starving. Okay. I'm going to eat the aged bread, and I'm going to eat a slightly aged bread, and we should be full now. What else do I have around here? We got worn iron boots, a cloak, a breastplate, loads of money. Bury me with my money. Oh, one of them did get caught up in the bear trap. Good. Well, at least one of them hit it. We're kind of beat up right now, and I don't know if I can handle a mimic. It was not a mimic, so we lucked out. We also have a couple of healing potions on us that I had failed to appraise, so that's actually a super good thing. We have a paralysis potion. Why would we want that? Well, in this game, you can chuck potions at people, and they will suffer a status effect based on what you throw at them. Do you have anything else to sell right now? Got a blessed cloak, but not really. Well, I've got a poison spell. That's kind of fun. Poison can be useful if you're a fast character that's good at running away and kiting. I'm not, so you can see how slow we are right now with our current equipment load. Largely because I'm carrying around that breastplate right there. Let's put it on, I guess. We are a cleric. Let's get some benefit out of our gear set, I suppose. Drink a bottle of booze real fast just to get some HP back because regeneration in this game is slow. So you are going to want to, like, go after healing utilities as aggressively as possible. We have an archer over there. These guys have a lot of knockback, so watch out for it. Oh boy, this is not a good time for my weapon to break. Yeah, equip that real fast. I don't know which way he's coming from. Or if he's even still alive. I don't see him, but I'm going to drink a healing potion real fast. I don't know what happened to him. Did he run away? He might have run away. Sometimes they flee when their HP gets to a certain level. So we'll want to watch out so that it won't catch an arrow to the behind. Somebody got gushed by a rock over here. One thing I like is how the dungeon feels alive. Like, enemies trigger traps and fight each other the same way that you do. So if, like, a group of enemies that have races that don't get along run into each other, they will fight each other, which is a really, really nice thing because you can come across just these great loot piles laying around the dungeon. So we got an archer right there. I think this is another opportunity for a paralysis trap. However, we are not looking great on weapons right now. We may want to go with the Mage Staff of Fire here. All right, let him burn. Take a little... Oh, he's not on fire? Okay, I thought he was going to burn to death. There we go. We'll get him right there. Like I said, dude, this staff right here is a banger. Like, it allowed us to clear a room that we had no business clearing. It was probably a misplay using it right there, but I don't mind that much. Okay, it wasn't a mimic. Do we have any flawlesses in here? No flawlesses. We do have a ring of protection. There's a flawless right there. A wizard hat would make us better at casting, and to answer the question inevitably on everyone's lips, casting from a staff does indeed give you casting XP, so keep that in mind. If you're a character that's not good at casting by default, that may be something you want to fall back on. Oh, good. We got a decent mace. Okay, I'll take it. Throw the cursed one. If I ever find a book of repair or whatever, we'll be in good shape. I don't know if I can cast from these without the skill, but I'm going to try. I can, actually. So we've got Troll's Blood now, which means that we are regenerating. Good stuff. Get that back out. Put that back on our 1 key, wherever that ran off to. Where did our mace go? We got a dungeon over there. Health is looking pretty all right now. Like, we've got a solid starter going at the moment. It looks like a human got into a fight with a number of other people over here. We are too slow at the moment to outrun a mimic. And there it is. Go in the water, go in the water. He can't water walk. All right, so because he can't water walk, we now kind of have him dead bang, I think. Well, that's unless I fumbled the spell 950 times. Okay, I fumbled the spell 950 times. That's really, really unfortunate. I do have a paralysis potion we can chuck at him, though. There we go. Mimic's down. Aged bread is good. I'll take it. A chef's toque. Okay. Toque, or however you say that word. A fresh apple, though, is good. We need food for sure. Kind of a bummer. All of our spells fizzled right there. And our magic staff broke. Bummer, dude. If we get a scroll of recharging, we can recharge the staff. So it may be worth holding on to. I'm going to keep the decrepit mace just in case we get ourselves into trouble. I'll eat the apple. I think we verified that that's a paralysis potion. Oh, no, it's a bottle of water. Okay, well, I'll just drink that right now then. Ring right there. I do have stuff to sell to the jeweler. So before we leave, I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, jeweler. What you got for me? Anything worthwhile? I'm going to get a couple identify scrolls so that we can identify these gems and sell them. Oh no, they're both flawless pieces of glass. I just wasted a bunch of money. Sometimes flawless gems will just be a piece of glass. It goes into kind of the proceduralism of the game. But those are the little things that I think make this game interesting and like fun to play and compelling. Oh good, Minotaur level. Just what I wanted to deal with in a highly dangerous environment. A Minotaur chasing me. You can cross water too, so water boots aren't going to help us much here. But this is Barony. I cannot brag about this game enough. This is a really, really great title that the developers have supported well beyond its 1.0 release date and just made it into something fantastic that has very rapidly become one of my favorite games of like all the roguelikes out there that you can possibly play. This is one that I keep coming back to like over and over and over and over again. And so I highly recommend it. It's a really fantastic game. Oh no, we fizzled out. Man, I needed that heal too. Bummer. But I cannot recommend it enough. The game is difficult, but it is also multiplayer. There's a lot of fun to be had in this game with a group of friends. Just kind of going through the dungeon and accidentally murdering each other, Magicka style, with like miscasts and things of that nature. Definitely a game that'll put a smile on your face if you're into these kind of titles. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. The Day Up on the Chopping Block was a game that I've had for a very, very long time that just keeps getting better and better and better and better. Like, it really has become something special at this point. I can't highlight that enough. In the world of roguelikes and classic roguelikes, there are a lot of them. And this one right here is one that has developed very well and become something very beefy and very replayable and very interesting and very good at holding your attention through little mechanics like identifying items, which is effectively like gambling every single time you pick something up that gives you that just distinct dopamine hit. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. This is about all I got for you for the day. It's time for me to go. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye, folks.